It's time for grassroots racers and fans to gather round. Welcome to the Racing Roundup Show. Thanks for joining us for our landmark 40th season. We are your destination for news and interviews within the Wisconsin racing scene, the upper Midwest, and from the world of motorsports. The Racing Roundup Show is America's longest running weekly motorsports show held in front of a live audience. You still have time to join the racing crowd for tonight's show. And now, here is the host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Hey gang, how are you? You cannot be as happy as I am. I can tell you that right now. Walter Inc. is amazing. Walter Night is here. Race cars are outside. Racers and employees of Walter are inside. Come on down. Bring your kids. Bring the camera. It's a bunch of fun here at Polly's Pub and Eatery on Walter Night. We're talking to a bunch of racers that work there and why you should work there as well. A great company that supports racing, but also is involved with a bunch of racers. They want to hire skilled technicians. There's actually a tent outside. If you want to apply on the spot, you can. We also got some great people to tell us more about Walter over the next 90 minutes on our program. We also encourage you to come down to Polly's Pub and Eatery any night of the week. They do great shuttles to all Milwaukee Brewers games, big concerts, small concerts. Shoot, I think they even did a church festival shuttle out of here. So keep in mind that Polly's Pub and Eatery has great food, but also can shuttle just about anywhere. They've got buses, big school buses now, small buses. They go to a lot of great events, so make sure you keep Polly's Pub and Eatery on your list of things to think about, including when Summerfest rolls in here in a few weeks. They have shuttles every day, multiple times a day, to get you to and from those big old parking lots, get you right to the front door, get you in, get you out, come back to Polly's. I think it's just a couple of beverages on the way, and as part of the way you get there and back, and enjoy your time here at Polly's Pub and Eatery. We'd also like to encourage you to set your DVR and watch our Saturday shows. We're on CW18 Milwaukee every Saturday at 11:30 in the morning. It's a lot of fun. That's pretty much parts of our show on Tuesday nights. We get to go and tell a new audience on CW18 on Saturdays. That's the Milwaukee CW affiliate. That's starting September 20th. We'll be televising all the NASCAR Xfinity Series races. So having some local sports and our show matches up the programming agenda and our agenda to get more people aware and hopefully to the racetrack by watching the TV show Saturday mornings 11:30 on CW18 Milwaukee. We also like to recognize some of our show sponsors who make this show possible. Olson's Outdoor Power in Muskego. I stopped by and saw the guys today. They're working hard on all the repairs from all the grass cutting you've been doing. Keep them in mind. Olson's Outdoor Power has a lot of parts and supplies and new machinery for you to look over, including all the Skill handheld products. It's really good. They got steel handheld products, lots of different variations, including those battery-powered ones that you might want to try if you're hard to reach with an extension cord or your gas machine is kind of putting out. They've got a lot of options for you at Olson's Outdoor Power in Muskego. We also want to thank Mike Grunberg at Precise Auto and Truck Accessories. He's working hard for you in Wisconsin Dells. He literally has over 1 million things you can add to your vehicle, upgrade your vehicle, heat your seats, cool your seats, do some complete redo of your interior. He could also add all the trim lights you want. And keep in mind when you're towing things, he can also get you upfitted with some great things to help you with your accessories, auto and truck accessories. It's called Precise Auto and Truck Accessories in Wisconsin Dells. We also want to thank Bobby G and the gang at Oak Creek Automotive, Allied Resource Recovery in Waukesha and West Dallas. Thank you, Phil Raybrick, for your involvement on the show. Danny Source and Source Services, and they're all over the southeastern Wisconsin. So is Making the Cut Tree and Asphalt Services. They cover all of southeastern Wisconsin. Make sure you support those businesses that support our show. Tonight on the program, we talked about Walter Night. A lot of racers in the race cars. Walter is hiring technicians. Come on down and find out more. Join the racing crowd. Doc Riley is here. We got one of Mark Goodman's toys off the shelf. We're going tractor and truck pulling this weekend at Toma. It's the 49th annual. It's a Super Nationals. There's only 2 in the whole country. 1 in Toma. It's this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We'll talk to the voice of the NTPA, Doc Riley, who's here. We connected at the Whirl of Wheels Custom Auto Show. Doc's a great guy. We're going to talk to him about all the great things he's been able to experience and what we should look forward to this weekend for the big show in Toma for the NTPA. We also have Bill Helen hanging out with us, and he was at Madison and Milwaukee this past weekend, so we're talking to Bill, and I want to recognize a couple of people in the audience. Thank you. Pat Hacksaw Heaney is here, I see. I see Mark Brunner's here. I see Mikey Kalinowski's here. Hi, Mikey. How are you? Bill and Jan Preetzel are here. They had a big racing weekend. Bill ran the Mid-Am at Milwaukee. We got a bunch of racers you're going to see and hear about on the show as well. So stick around. Got a lot more to cover. We're hanging out with you at Polly's Pub and Eatery tonight in West Dallas on 81st and Greenfield. Come on down and enjoy the racing crowd. We'll be right back.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundupshow.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Add value and beauty to your home or commercial property with professional landscaping from Central Services Company Incorporated. The team at Central Services is their personal choice of over 45 years of satisfied customers in Southeast Wisconsin for landscape design, construction, and grounds maintenance. Call Central Services at 262-548-0005 for all your landscaping and lawn care needs. No job is too large or too small. From lawn fertilization and weed control to award-winning landscape construction and building your backyard patio oasis, Central Services is your full-service landscape company. Call the experts at Central Services at 262-548-0005 for a free, no-obligation consultation at your home or business. Find out why Central Services can provide you with the visual difference in the art of landscaping and lawn care. Call 262-548-0005. Central Services, the visual difference in landscaping.
For your next Purge or project, go with the pros. Source Services. Champion driver Wisconsin Short Track Hall of Famer Dan Source founded Source Services in 1988 with one truck, one employee, and a tireless work ethic. Through the dedicated work of Dan and his employees, Source Services LLC is Southeastern Wisconsin's leading waste container rental company. Dropped and picked up by professionals, you can rent a dumpster for up to 60 days. Source Services sorts and recycles to reduce the amount of waste going into landfills. Go with the pros at sourceservices.com.
Get ready to accelerate your productivity with the Midwest's largest forklift distributor. Walter Inc. offers top-tier brands including Lindy, Doosan, and Bobcat forklifts. With 17 locations across the Midwest, Walter is the go-to source for high-performance forklifts and material handling solutions, and is fueled by a passion for short-track racing. Count on Walter's 60-plus years of experience to increase your productivity. Walter is hiring too. Explore their unbeatable lineup of forklift solutions and more at walterinc.com.
Adams Towing offers expert heavy-duty towing services for the entire state of Wisconsin from their Plover headquarters. Since 1961, 3 generations of heavy-duty towing specialists and racing supporters have provided towing, flatbed, and reload service, plus winching and upright, long boom service, truck starting, and cleanup. Adams Towing proudly sponsors Ryan Farrell's Super Late model team. Put Adams Towing and their experienced team and their fleet of heavy-duty tow trucks and rollbacks to work for you. Call Adams Towing today at 715-344-3836.
Plan now to cruise Alaska with Making Memories Travel next September. Enjoy an unforgettable 7-day Alaskan cruise from Vancouver on the Norwegian Jade. Juneau and Hubbard Glacier are just 2 of the cities that await you. Hike up snow-capped mountains and witness majestic whales splash in the Pacific. Then come back on board to catch an amazing show, followed by a starlit stroll on the top deck. Breathtaking views, all the amenities, all the memories. Cruise Alaska. Contact Mark at Making Memories Travel today.
Like our show on Facebook and share our content with other race fans. We hope to see you at one of our upcoming shows too. Join racers, other race fans, and win prizes. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Welcome back to our program on this Tuesday night, June 18th. It's Walter night. We're going to find out more in just a moment about all the great things Walter has, and I think we've got some experts with us on our first segment, so that's a teaser for you. They've been working there for quite some time, and it's going to be great to find out how they enjoy their work at Walter and how you can enjoy working alongside some technicians that happen to be racers that are here on the show. Hey, if you're looking to sell or buy a home or commercial property, choose the Rapina Group, Coldwell Banker Home Sale Realty. List and buy with confidence. Hire a realtor that has the knowledge and expertise to get your deal done. Not all realtors are the same. Knowledge is power. Hire knowledge. Choose Coldwell Banker Home Sale Realty and sell your house today with the Rapina Group. Their website, rapinagroup.com. Interstate Batteries brings us this portion of our program. It's the NASCAR Report. Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin offer outrageously dependable batteries and the #1 replacement battery in North America. Their founding sponsor, Joe Gibbs Racing. Visit interstatebatteries.com to find a battery for every need at a dealer near you. Sam Mayer of Franklin won the Iowa race. Hey, wasn't that cool? The Xfinity race, overtime. He made Riley Herbst a little steamed, but you know what? Sam still finished first, and that's, I guess, all that matters. So it was an overtime run. Sam Mayer had to hold off Riley Herbst a few times. Corey Heim finished a career-best third in the Xfinity Series. Hometown racer Sammy Smith of Iowa finished fourth. It was Mayer's second win in the season and 6th in his career, and all of Mayer's wins actually have come in just his last 29 races. So we talked about him racing down south. He wasn't racing around here a lot. He ran karts nationally, then he moved to the Carolinas and raced for Junior Motorsports and late models. He's made his path from Franklin a different way than some of us have, like Ty Majeski or Luke Fenhouse has. So Sam is now well established in the Xfinity Series. He's won now 6 of his last 29 starts. It's pretty cool to know that he's getting it done on ovals, too. He loves the road racing as well. At Iowa Speedway, Martin Truex made the announcement he's retiring from full-time NASCAR Cup Series racing at the end of the year with Joe Gibbs Racing. Soon after, Denny Hamlin said, hey, anytime Truex wanted to ride, 2311's got a car for him. So I wouldn't doubt if Martin Truex does maybe the Daytona 500, maybe does a schedule like Jimmy Johnson. Sounds like a pretty nice pillow to land on, but Truex was pressured the last couple of years. Hey, you're retiring. He's the oldest active full-timer, 43 years of age. He said it's time, kind of do some other things, and he said, I'm going to try to get my own schedule. I've been on everybody else's schedule 7 days a week for a long time. But good to see Martin Truex will be replaced by somebody good, right? Toyota ladder's full. They got a lot of options. Who do you think they're going to fill? They can pull from within Toyota. They can maybe John Hunter Nemechek comes over, maybe Corey High, maybe Eric Jones, or maybe they venture out and grab like a Chase Briscoe or a Zane Smith or a Noah Gragson. We'll find out soon enough. I think that's probably already in the works as things go way before they're announced what's going on. Sunday's first Cup race at Iowa Speedway looked every bit of a home run. After early tire issues, drivers and teams figured out the partial patch paving. The stands were packed, and the guys won the race. Actually, his mom is from right down the road in Sheraton, Iowa. Ryan Blaney was the winner. His Ford on two fresh tires outlasted the cars with Ford tires in the final pit stop. He then led the final 88 laps to claim a victory now in all three NASCAR National Series at Iowa, where he won his very first truck race, and, of course, an Xfinity Series race. They haven't been there in a couple, 3-4 years in Xfinity, so good to see them back. Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, and now three-time winner at the Xfinity Series, Ricky Stenhouse finished fifth. William Byron on 4 tires could do no better than second. Kyle Larson won the pole and led 80 laps, but Larson was caught up in a tangle on the front stretch on lap 220 when he got a tap from behind from Daniel Suarez Chevy that sent him up into Danny Hamlin's Toyota. Suarez finished 9th. The other two, well, Hamlin finished 2 laps down, and Larson placed 34th, 36 laps down after garage repairs. This weekend for the NASCAR bunch, Loudon, New Hampshire for Cup and Xfinity. Trucks are off, and I'll be working with the NASCAR production crew this Friday. I'll be heading out to Mid-Ohio on Thursday. The ARCA Menard Series in action at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course on Friday on FS1. Let's now bring in our guests. We talked about Walter tonight. We talked about, you may have heard their messages on our show. You might have heard about it, seen it. Now we get to talk more about it in depth. Let's welcome in from Walter, the Chief Human Resources Officer, Kim Wachs, and Walter Regional Service Manager, Scott Shambo. Hey, guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you. We're happy to be here.
Thank you.
You guys are working hard today already. You got a tent out there, Kim. You've got people interested in what's going on, and you said, we're coming in full force. Melissa Johnson said, we got to have people there. You got people here. Thank you. Yeah. You got some activity going outside already today. What are you guys doing?
We're excited to be here tonight. We've got a tent outside. We've got some giveaways, T-shirts, hats, keychains, bottle openers, all those fun giveaway items. Stop out and give us a few minutes of your time. Hear what we have to say about Walter Inc. We're a great company to work for. We'd like to have you apply and come on board with us.
Do you have job applications too?
We do. Yeah, you can apply on the spot.
So I know, and talking to Joel Crowbridge, having him on the show, and others on the show, it is a message you're sending on the race car sponsorship as well. Getting technicians that love working on their stuff involved in Walter.
Absolutely. These are the perfect people we want to talk to. We want you to use your mechanical knowledge, your driving knowledge, your love for getting your hands dirty and working on equipment to come out and work for Walter.
Scott Shambo's doing a big head nod here. Scott, you've been racing forever. I've never calling your name forever. Yep. I can't believe this is the first time you're on our show.
First time for everything. Glad to be here.
And now the boss said you got to show up, so now you're getting forced to be here.
Yep, that's okay.
What's it been like working with just having the ability to not only race but enjoy the fact that you've got racers working with and for you?
Oh, it's completely awesome to be a part of Walter and them signing up with racing. This is just what a great experience this is.
So racers are interested in doing their own thing, working on their stuff, but you guys have specific needs, and it sounds like, Scott, that list of needs and wants is growing, isn't it?
Absolutely. We're always hiring technicians. We have an apprentice program. If you don't know a lot about mechanics, we can put you through an apprentice program and build you a career. We offer nothing but great careers at Walter.
And Kim, you told me before the program you've been involved at Walter for 20 years.
Yes, I'm a perfect example of how many long-term tenured employees we have with Walter.
And the company's booming. 16 different locations now?
Yes, we are growing by leaps and bounds. We grow both organically by hiring and through acquisition. And we are looking for technicians of all different flavors, both to work on forklifts in the traditional material handling industry. But we also sell and service generators. We're in crane, dock and door. We're getting into automation and robotics. So excellent career opportunities for those who want to get their foot in the door using their mechanical knowledge, have a career as a technician and or in other areas within our industry.
Scott, when did you start and what was your first job at Walter?
Well, it's kind of a story. I was there from 88 to 93, and if I got one regret in my life, it was when I left Walter in 93.
Okay.
But I made it right 25 years later to the month I came back about 7 years ago. And now I'm the regional service manager, and I run the biggest department in the company.
I would think there's things, you mentioned automation.
Yes.
There's things that have to work with or without humans around it.
Yep.
You also probably have to take a laptop with you that has to have every program you need on it. So when you load into a new job site or a job site you guys built, now it's your job to figure out what's wrong, right? I mean, that's kind of the expertise level you guys are speaking with.
Well, yeah, I'm actually just on the forklift side of it.
Okay.
Right. So we just handle the forklifts that break and run around with the equipment. Automation is a different division.
Yeah. We have an amazing technical training department within Walter.
Okay.
We have factory certified trainers who train on the equipment and all the different areas that we service. And we also have an incredible inside technical support department who will help our
absolutely.
technicians when they're out in the field if they need help with troubleshooting, as well as operator training and a number of other things.
She's Kim Wachs, HR. Scott Shambo, regional manager. Not Dwight Schrute. He's actually the regional service manager, not assistant general manager to the sales manager, whatever it was back in the office days of TV. But that's an all-encompassing position, isn't it? You've got people to service and manage mentally, physically. Yep. Hey, guys, we need it here. Where are we at? We got to get this done. I mean, there's a lot to do.
Absolutely.
With as busy as you guys are.
Partners with a lot of big companies around the area here.
So I went to a Brewers game with my family.
Yep.
And I'm walking by where I think the fourth would be left field foul pole. I walked in that way to come in. I see this beautiful Walter crane, it looked like, in the parking lot.
That's right.
You guys work at American Family Field, too?
Yep.
We do.
Yep.
Wow.
We're partners with them.
Okay.
Yep. There's a crane or boom lift at Slinger Speedway.
Nice.
Yep.
That's cool. I wonder how they arranged that. Hey, Scott.
Exactly.
Scott, we need you. We got 17 guys here saying they work at Walter. Can you handle us?
Magically just happened.
We got some great racers here. How do you help recruit those guys and gals when you're at the racetrack saying, the race car says we're hiring. We want technicians. We want guys and gals that maybe enjoy racing because of the mechanical abilities.
Yep.
When you're at the racetrack, do you find yourself wearing a racing helmet and then all of a sudden a sales helmet as well saying, you got to work with us?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I always promote our company. It's a great company. I enjoy going to work every day of my life.
Scott Shambo, what are you racing? What you been doing lately in a race car?
Slinger Speedway. Unfortunately, my crew chief and my spotter has got some health issues this year, so I have not made it out there, but I will be out there on the 30th of June.
All right.
And then for the rest of the season. Walter Night is July 21st, so make sure everybody can make Slinger Speedway on July 21st.
So that's Sunday night, July 21st. This show will air, and people will watch this tomorrow, next week. We'll come across it online. We love sharing the idea that we get those dates out there because it's important to know when you guys roll, like when you guys went to Seymour and Walter Night, Joel and Donnie drove up there and raced with their cars, but it's about getting the awareness.
That's right.
Where do you guys have 16 locations? Are they all in Wisconsin?
Oh, no, we're all over the Midwest. Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Missouri, Kentucky, and we have employees in Upper Michigan.
Wow. So do you got the dually with a lot of miles on it? Is that what your deal is?
Yep. I just take care of the region, Janesville and Milwaukee area here.
Still quite a
we got other
distance, though.
service managers for the other departments and branches.
So how much, that's a lot of work. Mm-hmm. Knowledge, you got to have a lot of knowledge. When you came back after those 25 years away, that'd be a pretty steep curve there because I'm sure
the company grew a lot.
And the forklift technology, think about it.
Yes.
Now there's many different ways to lift things and move things than just 4 or 5 standard models you may have worked on before.
They're so sophisticated forklifts, they caught up to the car industry and probably passed it up in some regards.
And I know some places do have automation, shifting and shipping and all that kind of stuff. But in reality, you want people there that know the positions, know how to work on the machines.
Yep.
You obviously have to have forklift training.
We train.
That's got to be a process you guys are willing to invest in.
Absolutely. We'll want to invest in anybody that just wants to come and learn the business.
All right. Where can we find out more about getting involved? If they can't make it here to the show or July 21st at Slinger, please be there if you can't be here. I'm guessing you have something online people can fill out as well.
Yes, they can go to our website at walterinc.com/careers.
All right. And Kim, when it comes to recruiting people, you have this job for 20. I worked into this job now.
Yes.
There's a lot that goes on for human resources. What kind of people are you looking for? If you had to say this room of people, who would you want to apply, and what kind of skill set would they have? If they, again, Scott mentioned you don't have to have a lot of. No. You have to have the ambition and the ability.
Yep, that's right.
But the skill level, if you were looking for higher level skill jobs, or not? What kind of people are you looking for?
We're really looking for people at all skill levels. They just have to have, they need to be mechanically inclined so that they can be trained, because we offer such great training. So they don't necessarily have to come in as an expert, but they have to be willing to learn, have a good attitude, be responsible,
Exactly.
And show up.
That's exactly it.
There's so many career paths within Walter, so really.
Mechanical background's good enough. We'll do the rest. We'll train the rest.
And let me put it this way. If you're done with your job where you're at a machine all day and you're like, you know what, this isn't for me anymore, I want to be out in the field, or I want to do some work inside, some work outside, I want to get trained in more than what I'm doing, bingo.
Exactly.
WalterInc.com/careers.
You got it.
It's exciting to be a road guy, going to different companies and seeing different things. It's awesome how different things are made.
And it's got to help you. It's got to help you saying, wait a minute, they had a 7-foot aisle. You guys have a 4-foot aisle. Have you thought about the efficiencies of maybe doing this?
Yep.
You're also integrating with not just what you know, but who you're working with.
Absolutely. We have engineers on staff that'll go in and look at your warehouse and show you how to condense everything and maximize the space in your warehouse.
Yeah. And then you got these racers that we're going to talk to you later on. You got a fun bunch of people working with you, don't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we do. We sure do.
Oh, we're getting some heckling now. We're getting some heckling back there.
Yeah, we do.
But that's also part of the fun too, right? I mean, working long, hard hours, being good at your job, but also enjoying what you do.
Yep.
Kim, in terms of what you can offer anybody who wants to apply, we talk about a great working environment, a great workforce, workplace.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a complete benefits package. So, medical, dental, vision, 401k, life, disability, PTO program, paid holidays, pet insurance. We have so many extra perks and incentives for our employees.
That's a new one for me.
Pet insurance.
Pet insurance.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yes.
You had the whole list. They got the whole list already
We got
planned.
the whole list,
including
tuition reimbursement. So if you have somebody who's recently graduated from a technical school within the past 2 years, come on board. We will reimburse you up to $10,000 in your tuition reimbursement that you've paid to go to tech school.
Tool loans.
Tool loans, tool insurance.
Tool loans, yeah.
Okay.
If somebody doesn't have a lot of tools, we can help them out with an interest-free loan.
Wow. That's all really good stuff. Mm-hmm. I do have to ask a racing question of you, Scott. When you go back racing, your car is here. It's beautiful.
Yep. Thank you.
Shined up and ready.
Thank you.
It looks wonderful. And I've seen your car on the track, not this year yet.
Yep.
But when you go racing, who's supporting your car? We know Walter is a big part of what you do.
Walter and NVR is my biggest supporters, probably. Bailing Racing, of course, helps everybody out.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. How many years have you been racing now?
Since 1989.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
long time. Too much. Too many years.
But it's great to have you here because, in reality, that's part of what you do, what you want to do, and you get paid to do it at work, and you get to go racing when you have the time.
Right.
How about a big hand for Scott Shambo and Kim Waxer joining us here on the show? That was pretty easy, wasn't it?
Yeah. Thanks so much for having us.
No, thank you for being here. We got more to talk about with Walter Inc. Walter is a company that's hiring. Again, if you're interested, WalterInc.com/careers is the website to go to, or come down to Polly's, or go to Slinger on Sunday night, July 21st for Walter Night there. And they also sponsor the Sportsman Division at Slinger. So I'm certain you can get some information when he starts showing up at the end of June to go racing. So looking forward to seeing you in that Black 21 at Slinger Super Speedway. We'll be right back with the voice of the National Tractor and Truck Pullers Association, Doc Riley, next on the show. Stick around.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about truck track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show. Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment is a fully equipped parts, sales, and service dealer of quality mowers, snow throws, trimmers, chainsaws, and more. Olson services what they sell, does warranty service work on big box store mowers, and their expert service technicians are ready to get your equipment running right. Put their stock parts department and friendly, knowledgeable staff to work for you. Visit the racers at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment today at 14323 West College Avenue, just 1 mile east of Moreland Road in Muskego. Olson'sPower.com. Olson's Power Equipment. ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And attention contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. And who doesn't like more cash? Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Allis and Waukesha. If you have questions, give them a call. 414-321-4134. ARR Recycling since 1938.
Attention race fans! When you need expert tree trimming, or it's finally time for tree removal or stump grinding, there's only one name to call: Making the Cut. Fully insured arborists, Making the Cut has the knowledge and equipment to get the job done right in Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Racine counties. They specialize in removing trees from structures and offer 24/7 emergency storm service. You've probably seen the yard signs. Now it's your turn to request an estimate. Call 414-750-2525 or visit mtctree.com. Make the right call, race fans. When it's time for expert tree work in your yard, it's Making the Cut.
427-1000 American Foundation. Cracks and leaks in your basement, have no fears. We've been fixing those things for over 60 years. Trust and dedication, that's American Foundation.
Call American right now for huge savings.
427-1000 American Foundation.
When we decided to get our crack leaky basement done, I am so glad we called American Foundation. It gave us a sense of confidence, and it gave us our basement back.
And it was the right choice.
Thank you very much.
American Foundation Specialist has been fixing basements since 1947. Satisfied customers are the future at American. Call American for huge savings at
427-1000 American Foundation.
Precise Auto and Truck Accessories is your one-stop shop when it comes to adding style and functionality to your vehicles. Owner and late model racer Mike Grunberg has 15 years of experience installing window tinting, cat skin leather, seat heaters and seat coolers. There's a million accessories available: ladder racks, trailer hitches, detailing, remote starters, and more. Precise Auto and Truck Accessories in Wisconsin Dells is a WeatherTech Diamond dealer. Bring your vehicle to the trusted guy, Mike Grunberg at Precise Auto and Truck Accessories.
The Racing Roundup Show is dedicated to showcasing grassroots racers and national stars of our sport. If you're a fan of NASCAR, four-wheel, two-wheel, road racing, drag racing, or the short track scene, you are in the right place. Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show.
That's the voice of Dean Strom. I'm Jim Trado. Thanks for joining us on the program. Got a great crew, great crowd here tonight at Polly's Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield. Thanks to my son Sam Trado for hanging out with us, helping run the controls with Dave Schmalzer. We've got Greg Lapine here. We've got a bunch of great people helping us behind the scenes as well. Mark Goodman, Bruce Blodgett, Joe Lapine. Thank you for your help. Thank you, Sherry Prague, for the website help as well. Our friend Matt Rapina is away at a wedding with his son and his family. So looking forward to seeing Matt coming back next Tuesday on the show and being part of the program. We hope to see you next Tuesday as well. If you're not able to join us here, we'll be right back here at Polly's Pub and Eatery. This portion of the show is brought to you by BMRE Electric Carts in Random Lake. Icon e-bikes go 25 miles between charges and up to 25 miles per hour in speed. And now selling Be Cooler on a BMRE electric scooter. They have street legal golf carts now as well. Brad Miller is Wisconsin's only Icon electric cart dealer and has in-stock inventory and customizing options. Check it out on Facebook. Search BMRE Electric Carts Company. Electric spelled with a CK, like trick at the end. Kind of cool. Hey, it's time to remind you as well about stocking up on Victory Fuel. This is the drink that Kevin Swindell developed. He said, hey, you know what? I'm not driving anymore, but I want something that's caffeine-free, full of electrolytes, kid-friendly, no carbonation. It's called Victory Fuel. Buy yours. 2 great flavors, 2 more great flavors on the way. Buy yours at drinkvictory.com or at Hy-Vee stores in Madison and Green Bay. Drink Victory Fuel. It's good stuff. Victory Fuel is really good. 2 different flavors here to show you. We're going to give some away at the show, but if you want to buy your own stock, I got a way for you to save 10%. Go to drinkvictory.com and use the code SHOW, S-H-O-W, at checkout, and you save 10% on your order, shipped right to your front door. We'll have prize giveaways tonight after the show, thanks to our good friends at the Madison International Speedway. This Friday night, USAC Silver Crown's racing there. Wow. They're back, the big cars. This Saturday night, it's the Diamond 46 Wabam Dirt Kings Tour at 141 Speedway. Yep, got tickets to that. Sunday night, Badger Midgets and USAC Sprint Car races are at Angel Park Speedway. Got tickets for that. And we have tickets to this weekend's Budweiser Dairyland Super Nationals NTPA events in Toma. Also, we have bottles of Anderson's Maple Syrup, a set of 4 tickets to any Saturday you'd like to go to Dells Raceway Park. It's entertainment. It's great entertainment every Saturday night. Car washes from Full Service Car Wash. 2 of these cards. Stock up, stash away, and really get a nice car wash. It's an original, 3rd generation, locally family-owned and operated Milwaukee small business since 1986. Full Service Car Wash has unlimited car washes starting at just $14.99 a month, and the locations are in Hills Corners, Wauwatosa, Grafton, and West Bend. We also have racing T-shirts and die-casts. We have a Alan Kowicki size medium, never been worn, Winston Cup champion sweatshirt given to us tonight. We'll give that away. We also have some die-cast cars from Die-Cast Jim and from Greenfield Gallery on Facebook, where they're always buying racing collections. You ready? I'm ready. You'll hear the voice, now you'll get the vision. I've heard this voice before. I've seen this guy before. I met him at the World of Wheels Custom Auto Show. Now he's sitting next to us on his way to Toma. Let's welcome in the voice of the National Tractor Pullers Association, Doc Riley. Doc, thanks for coming on.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure. I tell you one thing. You'll walk in, you see those different, every single race car out there different.
Yep.
One thing in common, the guys all work on the cars. Yeah. They work for Walter. It's just an incredible thing. When you got a company like that gives back so much to racing, that's just amazing. So, and and the drivers don't look too scary either.
The ones that are here.
Yeah, okay.
But Doc, it's got to be fun knowing as long as you've done this and as you continue to do it at such a high level, knowing the satisfaction of racers getting it done and the enjoyment they get about getting after it. And when it comes to a big event, I would say, we talked before the show, this is the 49th annual. The Budweiser Dairyland Super Nationals are coming to Toma. It's a destination, isn't it?
It really is. And Toma is where 90 and 94 divide. It's the gateway to Cranberry Country, and started 49 years ago just as a fundraiser, and it is really it sets the bar for a lot of other events. But the big thing is the people, the volunteers that are there, and the staff that is there, the track builders. It attracts the best of the best coming in. And if you can pick up a win at Toma this weekend, that probably has some good end of season points implications as well. If you stub, you still got enough time to be able to make it up. But again, you guys know points racing, so it's all kind of important,
I have continued to be impressed and brag. I had one opportunity to work a tractor and truck pull as diesel only.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Lucas Oil had the series, and they hired me to go down there and do some interviews and hang out with the racers. And the amount of horsepower and the thrill I had just watching the pure beef going down the track and the stacks going. Now you have 13 divisions of national racers coming to Toma.
Yep.
Man, that's going to be awesome.
It's been incredible. We've got racers, pullers from all over the United States, from down in Florida, North Carolina, North Dakota. They all kind of gravitate in there. And it's a good test for them just to be able to see. Not many people are going to try, some new stuff when you get there. It's kind of like a little big event. You don't want to, you kind of want to go by the notes and do what you can. But Wally Parks of NHRA, long time ago, I met him at an event. And I just said, oh, yeah, we're your country cousin, pulling is. And he said, son, don't ever say that again.
Really?
He said, because the people that race with me have the same passion that you guys have.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same passion that's right here in this room. That's what it's all about. There's amazing to me how people work so hard for a trophy. But it's more than that. It's the bragging rights. And I think to a lot of a bigger extent, it's the ability to say, this is what I've done, and set the bar for yourself. And, again, you do it. This area is got such a rich racing tradition.
Yeah.
And people, I worked in Charlotte, the tail end of the Winston Cup.
Yep.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Rich Bickle, Dick Trickle, Marcus.
Yeah.
Kawicki. All of that came here, and they would all say the same thing. We can race all the time. We can race at a bunch of different tracks. That's why they were able to raise to the very top. And again, a lot of those guys aren't, polished, big racers. They worked, they fabricated, they knew what was going on.
Yep.
They gave good input. It's just amazing. That was one of the things, because when I was there covering Cup, it was like, wow, look at all these guys that have raced up here.
Yeah.
And when you ask them, they go, well, we can race all the time. Like it's no big deal. But, it's amazing the amount of energy and passion that continues to this day. And, back 20, 25 years ago, you had a lot of ingenuity. But now, you talk about horsepower. And truck and tractor pulling, turbos are big.
Multi-engines are big.
Oh, yeah. We've got the modifieds, which are multi-engines. We've got turbos that are in the tractor classes. We've got a couple different types of tractors, diesel, and also those guys running on alcohol. And back in the day, alcohol, they just kind of sniffed at it. Oh, it's never going to amount to anything. Now, if you don't have $60,000, you're not buying the good setup, And it's amazing. And turbos right now are, I thought about this on the way up. I live in Indianapolis. I'm driving up here. I'm thinking, man, good late model engine, good dirt track setup. That sets you back a little bit.
Yep.
Well, now you're looking at a set of heads for about the same what you can do. Same thing with turbos. I mean, it's amazing the technology that's come through it, and the amount of people that kind of give back to the sport. There's an awful lot of people that have in polling that are now manufacturers and are giving back to the sport and making the hot setups. And that's what we look for in every type of competition. Who's got the hot setup? Who's got the right thing? And again, their showcase is the gateway to Cranberry Country, the Budweiser Super Nationals, man.
Talking to Doc Riley about the big event this weekend. It starts Thursday. There's a Friday at noon. It's the second session. Then Saturday evening under the lights. All that said, I know you mentioned Kowicki and Trick and all those guys. Grassroots racing is what they grew from, and then they got a national attention. This is a Super Nationals.
Yeah.
This is not your fairgrounds. Let's get 7 lawnmowers and get a couple of guys that can throw weight on it and go down. This is the top of the line. Best of the best.
We go from the mini modifieds, which is a single engine.
You had one at the car show.
Yeah, we did. It's 2,000 pounds roughly. And you'd think, look, back in the day, it was 1,800 pounds, 1,800 horsepower. Well, now the 2,000 is the horsepower is anybody's guess.
So you're sitting on this massive, it's a
right in front of you.
2 rear wheels. It looked like that's all it was, and a big engine.
At about 8 foot. That's what you got to deal with. And it's high performance, 575 cubic inches, alcohol running that. You can look at the 2-wheel drive trucks, which are 6,200 pounds. They run at 575. Those are kind of automotive classes. 4-wheel drive trucks are 650 cubic inches, no power adders or anything else. So it's all muscle. Diesels have become such an incredible part of, just motorsports in general. We've got about 7 different types of diesel classes, from pro stock tractors down to diesel trucks. We've actually gone to 3 different types of diesel trucks.
Yeah.
You mentioned the multi-engine modifieds. Those guys, we found out that one thing, back in the day, 7 engines was cool. Everyone thought that was cool. Can we get another
one machine?
On one machine, you get 7 on there. And then we, suddenly after a couple of years of doing that, people would come back to us as the sanctioning body and say, why are we doing this? So then it went down to 6. And now one of the cool classes we've had is just 2 engines.
Okay.
It's a light class, but the engines are they create so much horsepower, and it really has become one of those kind of driver type classes.
Yeah.
Because you've got so much horsepower. We only pull 350 feet. Back in the day, 300. But now with technology, with everything that's going on, you got to extend that. And we go all the way up to 20,000 pound semis.
Wow.
So the semis really put on a heck of a show. So everything in between, from the mini rods up to the semis and tractor and smoke and, and even an occasional tasty beverage there. They take care of that right there at Toma as well.
Doc, gearheads are gearheads. Can we get close to these machines when we go up there Thursday,
absolutely.
Friday, Saturday?
Yeah, absolutely. The pits are open. You can actually get on the fairgrounds without having a ticket. You can go through. Pullers like to talk about things. They're always kind of tinkering, but they love, It's really a family. You talk at motorsports.
Multi-generational, too. I mean,
absolutely.
There's people upon people that are there and support it.
Matter of fact, I was at an event the other night, and the kid, 17 years old, ended up winning the event in a turbine tractor, jet turbine tractor that he had. And usually those are like, they take 8 minutes to spool up.
Okay.
You can't do anything. Dude, they had the whole team all dialed in. And it was great because I was able to induct his grandfather into the NTPA Hall of Fame.
Wow.
So it's very cool that it's gone down. I mean, you're talking grandsons and all that. So it really is multi generational. And a lot of it's the people. I mean, that's when I left the cornfields in Nebraska back in the day, I took the job because a couple of competitors came to me and said, you really need to come work for us. You really need to come have some fun with us.
How long have you been traveling around?
Since the late 80s.
Oh, wow.
I did a lot of dirt track stuff back in Nebraska, announcing and everything from sprint cars to dirt late models, and some of those tracks have kind of reinvigorated themselves. Always good to see them come back a little bit.
Well, the tractor pull I was at was at Terre Haute Action Track, which is an active oval track still.
Absolutely, absolutely. So tractor pulling is about 75 years, in duration, and kind of started when mechanical or mechanized agriculture came in. So guys are going to want their bragging rights, and it really is who can pull the farthest. An ever-increasing weight comes up, and that's what brings you to the stop. And it's amazing. The big thing was you do a pull-off. You've got anyone past 300 feet gets to come back. Well, they were just some of these guys are just making laps, so that wasn't anything you want to do because it's pretty much a drag racing setup for the alcohol stuff, and even the diesel now making so much heat and so much power with the turbos. But it's that constant momentum, that constant, trying to strive for more. And it's interesting to see kids that are no longer kids because they have kids. But one guy, I used to chase him out of the pit area. I mean, open pit areas, but he was just a terror, And now you look at him and he stands exactly like his dad does, puts the hands on the hips when he's pissed, just does that. waddles out to things, and it's so funny because he'll come up and say, man, in a victory lane, he'll say, man, do you remember when you used to tell me I was going to go to your dad? And I don't care, he'd say, he was like, I don't care, you can go talk to my dad. I said, never had to go talk to his dad, but always threatened that because Roger was one of those guys that said, toe the line, because you represent our team, even though you're 8 years old, but it was fun because you had a lot of kids. You could bring it in, the competitors, just like you have here. You go to the night at the track. All the kids are teaming up with their friends and everything else. You don't have to worry about what they're going to be doing, and they have a lot of fun. So
glad to have you here. You're part of that rich history. You're the voice of the series. What's your involvement this weekend?
I am one of the three announcers we have. So we kind of run the show from the tower a little bit, and Kenny Mack was a great announcer. So we're in the Kenny Mack Tower up there, paying tribute to him. And not so much management. I do some events. I kind of help manage things and run things. But this is so well done that you just kind of go hands off, and it all just kind of comes together. It all just kind of comes. Before I want to say one thing. Congratulations to you guys for being the longest running weekly racing program.
It's hard to believe, but 1985 was not that long ago, and we're here 40 years later doing this show.
And I go back to when I was in Charlotte. We were the only weekly motorsport program, nationally syndicated all over the United States, every single week, 52 straight weeks.
Wow.
Race day and the stuff on TNN, all of that was kind of evolving, but every single week. And during the winter months, we always did shop tours. Always went. If there wasn't racing going on, we were going. Yeah. We would go to Dave Marcus, and he'd show us exactly what he had. And it was that was an awful lot of fun doing it. It was a great time for racing.
You've done a lot of things in your career. We're looking forward to seeing you and hearing you this weekend. The Budweiser Dairyland Super Nationals. It's the 49th annual. Next year will be a big deal, I'm guessing.
Yes, it will be.
Doc Riley's going to be there all weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. NTPA is the website. We're also going to give some tickets away. Doc brought along tonight after the show, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Doc, thanks so much for your time.
My pleasure, man.
It's been a ball having you on. How about a big hand for Doc Riley, everybody?
Thank you, everybody.
You can tell he's a good talker, but, man, the relatability and the information he has, just a fun time to chat with him. I wish we had more time, but we got a great show, and Doc's had to talk all weekend as it is, so he's on the way up there now. Thank you, Doc. Make sure you sign our backdrop as well. Everybody that's part of our 40th year gets to do that. We're going to go through our results here from the Bonafide Security Solutions Short Track Report. It's time for the Bonafide Security Solutions Short Track look-in for cameras and alarm systems for your home or business, programmed card access, custom-made security doors, on-call locksmith work, and more. It's a lock. Support the racers at Team Bonafide by calling 262-790-9400 or go online to bonafidesafe.com. They protect what you value. Bill Holland is here tonight. We're going to talk to Bill about the big races. The ASA Stars came to Milwaukee and Madison. Milwaukee Sunday. They raced first Friday night in the Capital 200 at Madison International Speedway. We're going to talk to Bill about that. I do want to wish a happy birthday to my broadcast partner for both Friday and Sunday. Scott Hansen's birthday is today. Happy birthday, Scott. He joined us as he was in between driving a Midwest Truck Series truck at the mile and hanging out with us at Madison, too. So it was a lot of fun. It was really neat to see. So we'll talk to Bill about that more in depth. And a little bit later on in the program, on our Oak Creek Automotive Night, though, I do want to mention that we had Jeff Storm on. And Jeff said, I don't think I'm going to run Milwaukee or Madison. I think I'm good. And wouldn't you know, he got a call 6 days before Friday, so that'd be like last Saturday, and said, hey, can you run our number? Donnie Wilson Motorsports had a conflict with their regular driver, Gio Ruggiero. Stormy said, yep, I got my car. Give me your number. Threw the 22 on the door, so he's deuce, not deuce nickel. Ran Friday night, finished 15th, but he had got the call. It's like, okay, all right, I'm going to do this. And he unfortunately had some mechanical issues, but he finished 15th, so that was that. He went to Wilmot Saturday night, helping out a buddy with his car that was in the B main, transferred to the A main. He gets a text from the guy from Donnie Wilson saying, hey, what are you doing tomorrow morning? What are you doing tomorrow afternoon? We want you to come and race our other car. So unfortunately for Ty Fredrickson, who was running one of Donnie Wilson's numbers, he had a crash Saturday afternoon at 3:30. That practice session, Ty lost something. The left rear just snapped around on him. It deflated immediately, hit the wall hard, destroyed his car. Thankfully, Ty's okay. That was the car Donnie Wilson Racing had prepared for Ty to run the number 24 on the door, not the 36. An hour later, Cole Butcher, second in points, going for the championship. He's got a really good car. Second only to Ty Majeski in the timesheets. 1 hour and 5 minutes after Ty Fredrickson hits the wall, they bring out the backup car. Ty is in it getting fitted. Cole Butcher crashes in turn 3 all by himself. So guess what? Ty got the tap on the shoulder. You're out. Cole's in the backup. Thank you. So then I waited for hours to find out what they're going to do. And there was word that there was one more car in their stable. They went through plenty on Friday night at Madison. Cole Butcher actually crashed while leading. We'll give some of that away to you. So they called Stormy and said, hey, Jeff Storm, we know you can race the mile. You've raced here before. We want you to run this car and just kind of get us some points. We don't think it's fair to have Ty to run this car just to run the car. We think you could do a nice job, and it wouldn't look so bad, for us to have a car out there that was not as much horsepower. But Stormy, can you do that? And he said, yep. So Stormy started the race in their number 24, which was third in the owner's points heading into the weekend, and he came in with a top 10 finish, 10th on the day on Sunday. He should be satisfied and happy. I think he was when I saw him leaving the track about an hour after the race on Sunday. So nice job by Stormy, saying, I don't think I'm going to run either one. He ran his car Friday night, and he ran their car, their backup car, that Gavin Boschel raced the fourth at the Money in the Bank at Berlin. He raced that to a 10th place finish on Sunday. So that's kind of cool. And after the race itself, it was good. Good to see him do that. Both of those races, Madison and Milwaukee, will be later on aired on MAV TV on a Monday night All-American Racing block. So look for that. Set your DVRs now. All the short track oval stuff is featured on Monday nights on MAV TV. Hall of Famer Tim Cox returned to victory lane in the Wisconsin Wingless at Wilmot on Saturday night. Congrats to Tim. CK Contractors, LLC.com brings us the Wilmot Raceway and Wisconsin Wingless Sprints coverage. Hire the pros at CK Contractors for Lake Michigan shore restoration, lot grading, retention pond building, and more. Josh Gehring of Pleasant Prairie beat Robbie Olson and Rob Olson in the Street Stocks, and Mike Renke and Bob Hood's Fire Engine Red number 10 won the IRA feature. Nice job, Mike, getting back in victory lane at Wilmot. Danny Schleifer of Schleifer Auto Body and Sales and Landon finished fourth. Chris Klemko raced with the 410s and put the wing on top. He owns CK Contractors. He scored 17th. This Saturday night at Wilmot, big deal. The USAC National Sprint Cars are coming. Wingless Sprints and IRA Lightning Sprints and an all sprint car show. Gates open at 5, racing at 6:45. USAC Sprint Cars race Wilmot on Friday night. They race Saturday night and Sunday night this weekend. Saturday night they're racing. It's going to be kind of cool to see. The Saturday at Wilmot Raceway, I should say. They're racing the USAC National Sprint Cars this Saturday. Sunday, they're racing at Angel Park. My apologies. They race at Angel Park Speedway on Sunday night. Friday night, actually, is the USAC Silver Crown guys and gals coming, including Kaylee Bryson, who I think has a really good shot to win her next race. I really do. Kaylee Bryson at Madison International Speedway on the pavement is where this USAC Silver Crown cars come to town, as it's a big USAC weekend in Wisconsin. Our coverage of Sunday night racing at Slinger Super Speedway is presented by Ricardo's Pizza, located in downtown Greendale since 1970. Ricardo's is owned by racer Richie Locke and his family. Ricardo's Pizza takes pride in their dough-made fresh daily, fresh produce, signature sauce, and the best Wisconsin cheeses. Order the best at ricardosgreendale.com. The super late model feature at Slinger was won by Dennis Prunty on Sunday night, who complimented fellow track champ Steve Apel. On Racing Clean, he said it might have been the best race they ever had. They kind of had some run-ins over the course of time, both racing for victories for the last 2 decades or so, it seems like. And their tune-up for the July 9th Slinger Nationals, Luke Fanhouse finished 4th, and Johnny DeAngelis of DeAngelis Construction finished 6th in the feature. Sandwiched between them in the 75-lapper in 5th was BMRE Electric Carts owner Brad Miller. Super Late's fast time, keep this in mind, 11.343 seconds by R.J. Braun. 11 threes to make the show. 11 fives might make you run the Conci at the Slinger Nationals. We'll be at the front gate on July 2nd for our DeAngelis Construction Road Show there, brought to you by our great friends at Oak Creek Automotive. Getting down there, Brandon Meneke and Keith Marina. Keith Marina is already sponsoring that show. Getting down there on times. Brandon Meneke won the drag race to the finish ahead of Ricky Gebhardt at Slinger in the Bees feature. Next week's show guest here at Paulie's, Matthew Wandry, finished 10th. Nice job by those guys and gals. Randy Sargent became the 5th different late model winner in 6 weeks at Dells Raceway Park. On Saturday night, DRP coverage is sponsored by Diamond Wheels on our program, your destination for stock car, road racing, autocross, beadlock wheels for off-road and dirt. You got it. Custom chrome finish wheels, too. Find them at diamondracingwheels.com. Brock Baumbach of Williams Bay won in Bandits, and was Andrew Moore over Dustin McCracken in Slinger in the Sixer Nation Street Stocks at Dells. This Saturday at DRP, get your performance late models. UMA Sportsman and Modifieds, Bandits, Legends, and American Super Cups. Get your tickets now in advance. Save $5 at the door. DellsRacewayPark.com. Ty Majeski rolled into the big Wisconsin racing weekend with a big win Thursday night in the red race at Wisconsin International Raceway. Nice job by Ty, who won the week before in the tune-up. He actually won the red race. Chad Butts finished 2nd and now has no less than 3rd as his finishes in Super Lates at Kaukauna the entire season. Nice job, Chad, by finishing 2nd on Thursday night. Ken Sports proudly supports our coverage of WIR and Fox River Racing Club. Ken Sports in Kaukauna and Green Bay is Wisconsin's largest power sports dealer. Home of the best names in fun, new and used, 2 wheels on the road, trail riding, and around the water. Visit kensports.com and kensportsgreenbay.com. Alex Stump won again Thursday night at WIR in late models. In super stocks, Mike Gilson survived a wild one. Kyle Quella topped the sport trucks. Racing starts at 6:30 this Thursday at WIR. Kyle Larson bagged $55,000 by winning the Eagle Nationals. I watched it on Flow. He did a nice job and pulled away from the field. There's a lot more racing to come. winners in World of Outlaws sprint car action at Knoxville this past weekend were Corey Day on Saturday, and our guest next week via live video, David Gravel, the World of Outlaws Series points leader, is going to be on our show via live video next Tuesday night. Gravel's team owns Houston Speedway in South Dakota. That's what the Outlaws had this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday night, $100,000 to win in the Houston's High Bag Hustle. Friday night, another big payday. And I remember last year we had Gravel on right after we won the Houston's $250,000 to win Saturday night feature. That's back, same price, same prize money this Saturday for the Outlaws. We'll talk to Gravel about that, and hopefully he's got the big check sitting next to him again when we talk to him a week from now. The IRA Outlaws Sprints race on Flow Racing starting this Thursday night. Yep, the IRA Sprinters are going to Indiana for 4 straight nights with the Maverick Wing Sprint Car Series. They go Lincoln Park Thursday, Bloomington, travel south to Tri-State Speedway, and finish Sunday at Terre Haute Action Track. That's IRA Sprints. They're on the road in Indiana. Catch them there or catch them on Flow. The Wabam Dirt Kings Late Model Tour race this Saturday night at 141 Speedway in the Diamond 46 in honor of Diamond Jim Letizia. We have tickets to give away after the show tonight for that one. This Friday night is the return of the big cars, the USAC Silver Crown at Madison. We talked about that. Lots to come, lots to do, lots to see, and lots to get to yet on the program. It's Walter night at our Racing Roundup Show headquarters, Polly's Pub and Eatery. Great cars in the parking lot, great food, hanging out with some racers. We're talking to more racers that work at Walter and want to make sure you know the benefits of working with them. Racers, working with racers, and technicians are in need at Walter. We'll find out more about the racing successes and having fun at work with each other. Going racing on the weekends and weeknights and working really hard at a great job. We'll be right back with more on Walter night at Racing Roundup headquarters, Polly's Pub and Eatery. We'll be right back.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Contact us on our website, racingroundupshow.com. We'll be right back with more of the Upper Midwest and Wisconsin racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports.
This Saturday at Dow's Raceway Park, it's Chasing Daylight Animal Shelter up to midnight. 6 exciting divisions of racing action featuring the UMA late models, Modified, Sportsman, Bandit, the INEX Legends, along with American Super Cup Series. Gates open at 3, qualifying at 4:30, green flag, racing at 6. Get your advance tickets online now at DellsRacewayPark.com. Dell's Raceway Park, located 2 miles west of I-1994 at exit 85, just off Highway 12. Dell's Raceway Park, Wisconsin's best racing entertainment.
Greenfield Gallery wants to buy your racing collection. Do you have die-cast cars from IndyCar, Sprint Car, or Short Tracks? Greenfield Gallery wants them. If you have old racing programs, racing photos, and negatives, Greenfield Gallery wants those too. Contact Ralph Hibbert Jr. at Greenfield Gallery, who wants to buy your racing collection. Ralph also has an ever-changing eBay store full of racing collectibles. Search Greenfield Gallery. Email Ralph right now to get connected. His email address is ralph@greenfieldgallery.net.
At Automatic Transmission Design, we know your vehicle is important to you. When your transmission needs servicing, take it to the best. ATD in Germantown, Wisconsin. ATD understands how important it is to get your vehicle fixed right the first time. When you take your vehicle to ATD, our ASE-trained technicians will run diagnostic tests to pinpoint the exact problem and answer any questions you may have before repairs begin. ATD has been providing high-quality, honest repairs to customers for over 15 years. We service all makes and models using the best parts and equipment available. When you come to ATD, you will get an honest assessment of the problem, simple explanations, experienced technicians, competitive pricing, high-quality parts, and their 100% guarantee. Money is not the goal at ATD. It is the result of fixing a problem and returning the vehicle to you. That is their goal. The next time your vehicle needs quality transmission service, give Charlie a call at 262-251-7777 or visit autotransdesign.com.
Jiffy Lube has locations across Wisconsin to serve you. Visit jiffylube.com to locate your store and to find the latest coupons and promotional offers. You're greeted by a friendly and knowledgeable staff. Grab a water or coffee and know you and your vehicle are in good hands. Windshield wipers, new tires, and alignments are a few of the many services offered. Jiffy Lube proudly features Pennzoil. There's a whole lot more than no appointment drive-up oil changes at Jiffy Lube. Welcome to personalized car care. Wisconsin race fans, find your store at jiffylube.com.
Organize like the pros with Hefner Racing Products. Take your trailer and shop to the next level with the best made and widest variety of storage and organizational accessories made right here in Wisconsin. Whatever you race, or whatever the sport, Hefner Racing Products will have you dressed for success and ready to get the job done. Shop online now at hrpracing.com.
The Gravely Mower Series at Olson's Outdoor Power is raising the bar on performance with smarter controls, longer run times, and more comfort. Add in layaway and financing from Olson's, and there's no lawn you can't conquer. Buy the best from the best. Gravely at Olson's Outdoor Power, Muskego.
Check out our website, RacingRoundupShow.com, to watch show archives, see photos from decades of our program, and links to support our awesome show advertisers. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Welcome back to our program on this Tuesday night, June 18th. A lot to come next week on our program. We talked about World of Outlaws Sprint Car Point Leader David Gravel will be here via live video. We'll be here at Paulie's. He'll help us preview the big two-night Outlaws show coming to Wilmot Raceway on Friday and Saturday, July 12 and 13. That's a big two-day show at Wilmot. Plus, we'll have Slinger Bees driver Matthew Wandry with us next week, sprint car racer Derek Crane and Jason Schilling, who's moved up to racing dirt modifieds. And we just booked world famous Southeast Wisconsin Short Track Hall of Famer Dave Olson, photographer extraordinaire. He loves walleye fishing, but he's really good at taking pictures too. It's going to be fun talking to Dave about all the things he gets to do with his family and at the racetracks. And in 2 weeks' time, I want to tell you right now, July 2nd, join us at a special time at 5 p.m. at the front gate of Wilmot Raceway. Their weekly divisions are points racing. That night is a special treat for the 4th of July. July 2nd is carload night, and there's fireworks at Wilmot Raceway. Find out more on the Kenosha County Fairgrounds Fund. We'll be there on Tuesday night, July 2nd. We hope you're joining us as well for that big show. We'll be live at 5 o'clock, special time, 5 o'clock that Tuesday with our show right at the front gate. We now have a couple of guys. We're going to name one of them as our Making the Cut Driver of the Week. How about we name them both? What do you say? Across Wisconsin, all roads lead to Making the Cut Asphalt Services for brand new asphalt paving, patchwork, crack filling, and seal coating. It's got to be Making the Cut Asphalt Services. Visit mtcasphalt.com right now to get started. We're going to get started right now. We're in the not even hot laps anymore. We are talking about we're in the heat race, in the battle of it all with these guys. They've been waiting to talk to us for quite some time. They both work at Walter. They're very happily being told you got to be on the show. Let's welcome in Donnie Paskewitz, the shop service technician and driver, and David McKellips, Walter technician and driver. Both brought their race cars here. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jim.
Donnie, I know I've talked to you before about Walter, and I've seen the logo on the car, and you now work there. How long have you been working there?
3 years on Friday.
Okay. What drew you to work there?
Joel Crowbridge.
Yeah. Fellow modified guy. We'll hear from him in a little bit.
Yep. I drove truck for 16 years.
Okay.
And I was starting to get a little old. Not a set schedule, and Joel kept on, come to Walter. And that was the best thing I ever did.
What's your job?
I started off doing tire press.
Okay.
Going to people's accounts and changing the tires on the forklifts. And then that started getting a little much for me. And then I asked, can I get something else? And they moved me into the shop.
Okay.
So now I maintain our rental fleet. And I also paint forklifts that customers buy.
You know, Donnie's always hand lettered his race cars. I'm wondering, do you get out the brushes or you just do the spraying?
I do the spraying. I kind of wish you'd let me do a little
pinstripes on a forklift. Come on now, flame jobs on a forklift, Donnie. Let's make it happen.
Wouldn't that be nice? It'd be unique.
But it's great, and I'm sure you're really busy. You guys have a lot going on in the shop, don't you?
Yes. Yeah, we're always got something going on.
Donnie brought his race car. David McKellips also brought his race car. David, we have not had the pleasure of having you on the show, but I learned quickly you and your wife both race, and your cars are here tonight. What'd you bring to the show?
What cars did we bring?
Yeah.
I have a Chevy Cavalier.
Okay.
And my wife races a RSX.
Where do you race and what divisions?
We primarily race at Wilmot in the Bandit Series.
Okay.
I've raced pretty much all over Wisconsin.
Yeah. Always four cylinders?
With the four cylinder, yes.
Okay.
And most of the time it was a Cavalier. I've raced from the Dells to the UP. I could name off a lot of racetracks.
Yeah.
I'll probably forget some. Toma, Sparta, Gravity Park, 141 Speedway, The Hill, and Sturgeon Bay.
Yeah.
Probably missing a lot.
So pavement and asphalt for you?
Yes.
And four cylinders, I'm telling you, there's nothing to be thinking that, okay, it's just a four banger I got out of the junkyard. No, you guys have to work a lot with a little, don't you?
The four cylinders are half the cylinders, twice the fun.
Yeah. And think about it. You guys can go 4 or 5 wide, no big deal on some of these tracks.
We just did it this Saturday.
Where?
Wilmot Speedway.
And how'd you fare in that hole? 5 wide scrum?
I ended up fourth.
All right. That's pretty cool. And your wife, how'd you get her involved, or was she the one involved first and she got you involved?
Well, I bought an Acura RSX that was just, junked, and it sat in a yard for a year, and, what am I going to do with this thing? And I just looked at my wife, and I said, would you race it? And she said, yes. I said, I'll believe you when you go get your gear.
Yeah.
And she went and got her gear, and she's been doing it for 5 years now, I think.
All right. I don't know where she's sitting, but there's a gal sitting at the middle of the table. Right across from you, her name is Jan in the peach-colored shirt. Jan Preetzel and her husband, Bill, have raced for decades. And Jan, I'm not kidding you, this ain't no powder puff woman you're looking at. Jan was on the gas and raced for a long time on the dirt. So as you guys sit at the table, it's another way to get the family connection here. But Jan's here, and she was a racer through and through, and she's hanging out with you guys. It's cool to see you guys, and with your kids here tonight, having some fun, too. That's pretty neat as a family to do that. When it comes to racing, David, that's part of what you do. What do you do at Walter as a technician?
I'm a field service technician. I primarily work on forklifts.
Okay.
We do work on a lot of other things, floor scrubbers. We service a lot of the floor scrubbers at Uline, and
so you have 80 million square feet to worry about with those scrubbers. Uline is blowing up. They're building buildings bigger than you can imagine next to each other. That's got to be a lot of work for you guys to maintain that. Or is it a system of maintenance almost for them?
Yes. We pretty much just do, the warranty repairs for them. But, big companies like that, like it was brought up before, we travel around and we meet so many new people, good people. It's just fun being able to travel around and meeting new people and fixing their stuff because it makes them happy.
And how long have you been working there, David?
I think 8 years.
Okay, all right. And when it comes to what we want to have people aware of is the jobs you guys do, and you got a chance, in Donnie's case, great example, let's get you somewhere that fits you. You don't have to be hired for that one job, and if you are in that job and you see other opportunities, what kind of work do you guys do that you may need more help with than what you do every day? Is there a need? I mean, you guys are punching the clock and doing overtime every week, or?
We can. It's always there. Everybody.
Okay.
That's one thing about working with us is things break, and we're always there to take care of it.
Yep.
That's the biggest thing. We're always busy, and we're always fixing stuff.
And Donnie, for you, in the job you have now, I imagine it's a little more controlled. You get to punch the clock maybe at regular times where David's going to get that call like, okay, now there's 6 machines to fix. We thought there was 1. That kind of thing.
Correct. But like for me, it's talk to my manager. It's like, hey, I got this job coming up. Parts came in. Can I come in early? Sure. 3:30 rolls around. I'm going to stay late, and I'm almost done. Another hour, I can be done with the unit. Can I stay late? Not a problem.
Yeah.
And what's nice about that is if something's coming up on Friday that you need to leave early, you can come in early.
Get your hours. Yep.
Get your hours and carry on.
Good. That's great. That's great.
I mean, there's not many companies that will allow you to do that. I mean, if you're supposed to be there from 7 to 4, that's what time they want you.
Yeah.
With Walter, they work with you, not against you.
Yep. Got some commonalities here. These guys like really what they do and working at Walter. You also have Donnie Paskewicz sitting over here. You and Jill have been around a long time together. I think I first met Jill as a racer.
Correct.
As a Midwest Enduro Series racer. And you guys are still hanging out. So it's kind of like he and his wife go racing. You and Jill get to go racing. This is kind of neat that you guys get to just spend time and just enjoy that part of what you got going on. Right, Donnie?
Correct. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to find somebody that likes the same thing that you do, especially when she's got her horses and we got to come up with time to where, okay, we can go racing, but okay, now we got to find somebody to cover for watching the horses.
Yeah.
I mean, but we always pull it off some way, somehow. So I mean, it's great to have somebody that's willing to back you in what you're doing.
And you get to race your modified where and how often?
Whenever I can. We've been to Iowa once. We're at Seymour on Friday. Plan on maybe doing some 141 a few times. I don't really got a set schedule. It's like I wake up Friday morning going, I'm going to go racing. Or Saturday morning, wake up, okay, we're going to go racing.
I call it the Crowbridge effect. You'll find out why in a few minutes. But when it comes to that, Donnie, I think it's kind of cool that when you went to Walter Night Friday at Seymour, you probably had a whole different crowd coming by and saying, "Hey, I didn't know you guys worked at Walter. This is your night. What's going on? You guys You guys work there? That's got to be kind of fun to have that engagement with people wherever you go.
Correct. I mean, and what was amazing about going up to Seymour was with their Walter night, they had their group of people up there. Then me and Joel come rolling up, and they were actually surprised that we came away from Milwaukee to go up there to go racing.
How much has it been like these past 3 years, or even for you, David, 8 years, knowing that they're big time involved in your racing? They want to get the message out. They want technicians. David, for you, it's like, okay, I'm done racing. My wife's done racing. Somebody's just walking up and saying, hey, I want to talk to you guys. Nice job in the race car. What do you get the chance to kind of spread the love for the real job too, don't you?
Oh, absolutely.
That's kind of cool. That's really neat how you get to do that.
I love working with Walter. They're it's one big family. There's some of our techs, and I'm pretty sure Joel Crowbridge did this with one of our other techs. He had some issues at home, and he needed help fixing something, and it's a phone call away. Any of us, we'll come help you.
That's cool. That's cool. A couple of fancy words I got to share with you because you know what, it means a lot of sense. Walter's on a mission to move, store, and power the world more efficiently. Rapidly growing forklift distributor, currently seeking skilled technicians to repair forklifts, industrial batteries, generators, and beyond. That sounds like a lot of evolving training for you guys, too. It's not just doing the same thing, is it?
No. The training department we have is super awesome.
Yeah?
It's the greatest training I've ever been involved with. And our tech support is always there. They call you back sometimes, but they're always there, and they'll get you through it one way or another.
Got some quality people that we're talking to tonight that can help you at Walter, and also you can see them race at the racetrack. Donnie, where are you racing next?
Guaranteed I'll be at Wilmot on the 29th for Walter night down at Wilmot, and after that...
That's June 29th, Saturday night.
Saturday night,
all right.
June 29th, sorry.
Walter night, yeah.
Yep. And after that, who knows?
Okay.
If Joel calls me up and says, let's go to Iowa, I'll be going down to Iowa.
David, what's on your schedule?
I will be at Wilmot the same weekend that they will be at the end of this month, I believe it is.
Yeah, all right.
I was thinking about going to Gravity Friday, but I'm not sure that's going to work out.
Okay. So when it comes to racing, say if your wife's car is not quite ready to go racing.
Oh, it will be.
Does she? All right. Boom, done. That's affirmative from her as well. We're going racing together. Both cars will be ready. Ain't no doubt about it.
We pretty much have 4 race cars that we run.
All right.
McKellips Racing, and three of them are Cavaliers. One of them's the wife's. And my car gets fixed last. I make sure that everybody else is ready to go.
Dave McKellips, who is sponsoring your race car? Who's involved with what you got going down the road with those 4 cars and a lot of racing?
My primary sponsor is Walter. I have, let me open this up here. Blifford Lumber and Hardware is a really good sponsor of mine.
Good.
Great people, and also a customer of Walter.
Oh, wow. That's kind of cool.
We service their forklifts.
Yeah.
We have Mayor Repair, Al Salvage, Fall Hazard Band from Racine, Remax Realtor, Renee Schoening, Old Milwaukee Pub, Rabbi Paving, Texas, Hustle Softball out of Racine.
Nice. And how about the crew? Is it you mainly and some other friends come and help?
Oh, no. McKellips Racing has really expanded this year.
Okay.
We have, obviously, my family, which, just like Walter being a big family, I think the biggest sponsor you could have is family and friends. My wife is always there, and, she does a lot of work on her own car. The Chasen family, the Walton family, Carrie Wilms she's gotten most of the sponsors that we have.
Great.
And she is phenomenal in everything that she's doing. She races a Cavalier that is, our cars are kind of themed for kids for the most part. My car is Hot Wheels.
I kind of like that too. Just saying, I'm a big kid, I guess.
Carrie Wilms has a Top Gun car.
Nice.
And Kevin, Jason, and James Walton race a Lego car.
Awesome.
And I give away Hot Wheels at every racetrack. And we're working on getting some Legos for that Lego car.
Yeah.
So all the kids can get some Legos.
Yeah, that's very cool. You'll see him race this coming Saturday at Wilmot Raceway, June 29th at Wilmot as well, on Walter Night. Donnie, who's sponsoring your car and who's involved with your team this year?
Obviously, Walter is a big big part of my sponsorship. It's Variety Auto Sales out of Big Bend and True Horsepower Stables.
How about the crew?
It's me and Jill. That's about it.
That was her, if you didn't hear that. I caught that. She's on the end of the table. It's neat to see you guys here. We wish you the best of luck, and thanks for sharing the word about Walter. It's kind of cool. We got racers talking about Walter on Walter Night. More importantly, you guys enjoy working there, and if you want to be a racer, or if you want to be around racers, or if you have an interest in working there, they can take any skill level and make it work. The website to go to is walterinc.com/careers. How about a big hand for David McKellips and all he's got going on, and Donnie Paskewitz. Guys, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, sir.
Really appreciate it. Make sure you sign our Bob Trado sign right on our backdrop as well. We're coming back with Joel Crowbridge. He's got a whole thing named after him now. He's got a T-shirt line, The Crowbridge Effect. We'll get there next on the show. Stick around.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundupshow.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Adams Towing offers expert heavy-duty towing services for the entire state of Wisconsin from their Plover headquarters. Since 1961, 3 generations of heavy-duty towing specialists and racing supporters have provided towing, flatbed, and reload service, plus winching and upright, long boom service, truck starting, and cleanup. Adams Towing proudly sponsors Ryan Farrell's Super Late Model team. Put Adams Towing and their experienced team and their fleet of heavy-duty tow trucks and rollbacks to work for you. Call Adams Towing today at 715-344-3836.
Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln is a great place to watch NASCAR races, Packer games, Brewer games, and to meet up with your friends. Joey and Jim Lynch pride themselves on their friendly hospitality and welcome Racing Roundup listeners to stop in to watch all the races on their 14 TVs and flat screens. Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln has been a longtime supporter of racers, including National Road Racing Motorcycle Champion Dan Volansky. Relax around the big neighborhood bar with 2 pool tables and dartboards surrounded by TVs. Whether you're meeting up before the game, want to watch the races with race fans, or just want to grab a cold one, head to Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 Lincoln and West Dallas.
427-1000 American Foundation.
When your foundation is in need of repair, you need 3 things: an honest opinion, quality work, and fair prices. Call American.
Trust and dedication. That's American Foundation.
Call American right now for huge savings.
427-1000 American Foundation.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For 35 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emission testing, tires, and complete auto, truck, and SUV repair. From oil changes to transmission replacement. 414-761-3250 to schedule your free inspection appointment. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th in Drexel to the experts at Oak Creek Automotive.
Grassroots drag racing is open to everyone at Great Lakes Dragway in Union Grove. Make GLD your home track. Come and enjoy the show or challenge your friends to be part of the show. Opening Spectre through April 14th. Pay spectator entry and you can run for free. Bracket Points program opens their season on April 20th. Pro classes, street classes, and even bikes and sled classes. Check out our website for the most updated calendar and upcoming shows. GreatLakesDragaway.com.
Like our show on Facebook and share our content with other race fans. We hope to see you at one of our upcoming shows too. Join racers, other race fans, and win prizes. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Welcome back to our program. It's Walter Night. You only have about 15 more minutes to see Faith Ann and Kim. They're working the tent outside. They want to make sure you know all about Walter Incorporated. So if you have a chance to just swing by, pick up an application, find out more about what you can do here at Polly's Pub and Eatery, and that's all you have time for, fine. But they're going to be in the tent telling you more about it, and there's race cars out front. Man, that's an awesome lineup of cars. Thank you to all the Walter employees that have shown up tonight as well as bringing their race cars. Looking forward to seeing them at their track real soon. Now you find out more about where they're racing. Make sure we check it out, and I'm sure they're willing to talk to you after the races or before the races about how they get to have fun working for Walter as a career. This portion of our show is brought to you by Midwest Truck Series, which is supported by Pathfinder Chassis and White Deer Automotive. Congrats to recent show guest Chester Ace for winning his 2nd Milwaukee Mile race in a row on Sunday. Next up for the truckers is the Hub City 50 at Marshfield Motor Speedway this Saturday night. For all the latest news and series info, visit MidwestTruckSeries.com. Here's another reminder to watch our TV show. Set your DVRs or maybe watch it in person and tell your friends. Saturdays, 11:30 a.m., CW18 Milwaukee is where you can find our half-hour show, taken from our best parts or some of the parts of Tuesday shows as we go through our season. It's a lot of fun to put that show together and have some great support. So check that out on Saturdays, 11:30 a.m. on CW18 Milwaukee. It's a wonderful program to be part of. This coming Saturday, June 22nd, if you have a chance, I want you to keep in mind, try to support this. Saturday, June 22nd from 2 to 9 p.m., our friends at Making the Cut Tree Services and Asphalt Services are holding a fundraiser in the parking lot of the Muskego Post Office. It's also where their corporate headquarters are for Making the Cut. So if you're in the Muskego, southeast Wisconsin, go to Wilmot, maybe 141, stop by this fundraiser. It's in the parking lot. There's meat raffles, a huge collection of silent auction items. They're also doing a lot of fundraising for the Muskego and Norway Police Department. They want to raise a bunch of money for our local officers. So if you have a chance, Making the Cut's holding a fundraiser with meat raffle, silent auction. There's a live band, food trucks from 2 to 9 p.m. this Saturday in Muskego at the Muskego Post Office, also the Making the Cut corporate office. So check that out and have some fun. Support them. Again, those silent auction items are really cool. You can see them. I think they're posting them still on Making the Cut Fundraiser. That's a Facebook page they started for the event this Saturday. So if you're watching us on Facebook Live or have a chance to review this at any time, take part, support Muskego Fire Department, Police Department, and Norway Police Department with this fundraiser being put on by one of our sponsors, Making the Cut Asphalt and Tree Services. They're in Muskego. So right at the Muskego Post Office, that whole lot full of things to do on Saturday, this Saturday, June 22nd from 2 to 9 p.m. It's now time to honor and recognize this week's Anderson's Maple Syrup Racing Short Track Spotlight Driver. Shines on a dirt racer employed at Walter that competes throughout the state of Wisconsin, upper Midwest, or wherever he maybe feels the call when he wakes up in the morning on a weekend or weeknight. It's kind of cool to have him with us on the program. I'd like to remind you, Anderson's is proud to sponsor and support World of Outlaws racer Bill Baylog and Jason Gross and his Modified. Try Anderson's in your coffee or tea or on vanilla ice cream. Take it with you with Pure Fuel on the go. It's Maple Energy on the go. Buy Anderson's Maple Syrup at your favorite grocer. Anderson's, over 95 years of syrup perfection. Go to andersonsmaplesyrup.com and enjoy their caramel corn and actually it's maple syrup corn and other cool things they have there. They got a big to-do open house on Saturday, June 29th as well, if you're in the neighborhood of Cumberland, Wisconsin. We now welcome in our Anderson's Maple Syrup Short Track Racing Spotlight Driver, Joel Crowbridge. Joel, welcome back to the show.
Hey, Jim. How's it going?
Good. Let's tackle the elephant in the room. What's the Crowbridge effect?
Oh, I don't know.
It's racing where you feel like it.
I like to race a lot.
Yeah. So whatever the feeling is, or maybe the weather forecast is.
Yeah.
You literally are worrying about it a day at a time.
I'll decide with weather too a little bit which direction I'm going to go.
So where have you found the direction finder lately?
This past weekend I went up to Seymour Speedway for Walter Night, and the manager Jeff up there called me and invited me up, and then he called me again, and then he was like, "Hey, we're getting a lot of people here. You think you could win this?" And I was like, "Well, no pressure."
So you get your fire suits on, hot lap Strawberry's like, "Hey, there's a lot of people that showed up.
Yeah.
You can win, right?"
Yeah, I tried. I ended up second.
Okay.
But it was a good night. I haven't raced there in about 4 years, so I was a little rusty at first for a few laps. But as soon as the top came in, I let the thing eat, and it just went.
So different size tracks, different traction compound. I mean, the different in traction is the dirt. I mean, sometimes it's silty, sometimes it's sandy, sometimes it's clay, sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's rutted. I mean, do you have a lot of parts in your truck and a lot of adjustability when it comes to gears and that kind of thing to give that last minute, I'm going here instead of there?
Yeah, I changed gears twice that night.
Okay.
But I changed that. So
all right.
The track was a little silty at first, but the top side came in and there was a lot of grip there. So.
And you race a lot. You mentioned when you have a chance to go racing, but in the a lot category could it be 2 or 3 times in a given weekend?
Yeah, last weekend prior, I went 3 nights. Well, we had a rain out Saturday at 141, but then I made a last-minute decision to run Luxembourg Sunday night, but I didn't really do that well there, so it's kind of whatever. But.
So Donnie Paskewitz goes wherever you want him to go, or will you invite him along? Like,
I can
hey, it's 4
him.
o'clock. We got an hour. We got to get going here. We got to go to Burlington, Iowa.
Yeah, I've talked him into a few already, and he kind of likes it, so we keep doing it. So.
The neat thing is you got somebody else to pit next to. If you can help each other out, you can.
Yeah, it's nice to know somebody at least parked next to you instead of just showing up by yourself.
And then when you win at Wilmot, they're like, Crowbridge is back. Here he is. He wins another one.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been running pretty good at Wilmot, so I'm kind of them switching to IMCA this year.
Yeah.
I liked it. It kind of helps me out because I always felt like I was a little bit of a disadvantage with my IMCA car with the open motor stuff. But
so for those who don't know, modifieds, there's different there's A modifieds, B modifieds. IMCA modifieds has more of a standardized package for sanctioning. 141 Speedway went that way. Wilmot this year went that way. What's the biggest difference for people who saw you from the stands last year to this year at Wilmot?
My stuff's the same.
Really?
It didn't change. I always stuck with the IMCA. But for people that went to Wilmot, the Wilmot cars don't have the 6-inch spoiler anymore, or they have an RPM limit rule now.
Okay.
So.
And how does that help you? Because you have the equipment now, and now leading the points at Wilmot, your stuff's been the same. You haven't had to make a lot of changes.
It tones some of those cars there down a little bit, where with the crate motor, you were kind of at a disadvantage with only 415 horse, but now it just a little more fair game.
Gotcha.
So.
Gotcha. And the car count's getting there. I mean, wherever you go, it's not like you're just hanging out. You are going to race against some really good competition at Wilmot or other established racetracks that have run modifieds a long time.
Yeah, I went to Beaver Dam Saturday. And that was a bigger show, 2,500 to win. And that had cars from multiple states, and those guys weren't there to mess around. So I made the show, but that's all I did.
Okay.
I didn't advance any position on that one. So.
Okay. Joel Crowbridge is here with his race car. Thank you for bringing the car. You're also a field service technician and driver for Walter. What does that all entail?
Well, I've been a field tech at Walter for 15 years and a shop tech for about 4 years, maybe 3.5 before that.
Okay.
It's been over 18 years now.
What do you work on these days?
I'm a big account guy. Okay. I like working on electric trucks. It's kind of what I really prefer. Some of the very large accounts with 30, 40 electric trucks.
So the electric trucks, are they primarily for moving equipment inside a building?
Yeah, mainly indoor stuff.
Okay.
So
your work environment's okay when it comes to January and February because you'll be indoor working on stuff for hours.
Yeah, you're inside a lot.
Okay.
It varies. So
how far do you get to? I mean, this is crazy. You get to travel for racing, but how far do you have to travel for work?
I pretty much cover like the Racine, Kenosha County area, and then a little bit of south, like Milwaukee, Oak Creek. But.
And how about the support and the backing you get at Walter for the equipment you need, the parts you need, the resources you need?
Yeah, we're top notch when it comes to like technical support and the training. They're training guys all the time, so if you run into a problem, you can call the tech support, and within so many minutes, they're on the phone with you, and they'll walk you through some stuff. Or even a lot of guys we work with, too, that have been doing this for a long time. We all help each other, too. I mean, you don't really leave anyone hanging.
So we talked to Scott Shambo. He's going to jump in when he can. He's one of the many guys, but he said he's kind of regional. Can you reach out to the other 15 locations and say, this is a specific problem I have? Is that the support group you can rely upon as well?
The tech support, they keep track of everything within all of Walter of common problems. I mean, I know a few techs from like the Green Bay area just from racing, but other than that, I contact tech support or the few guys in the area that I work with that we see the same trucks kind of. So.
Gotcha. Walter Night's coming up July 21st at Slinger. Just this past Friday was Walter Night at Seymour. Yeah, they're into racing. It's a big deal. It's kind of cool they're sponsoring your car as well. What was your reaction like when your friend said, hey, you're going to win this, right? And there's a lot of people here. What kind of reaction was it working with a different crowd, but a crowd that was excited to see a Walter car on the racetrack?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. A few of those guys I've seen through racing because they frequent the tracks. And then, they were really excited. And first I was like, oh, boy, there's good cars there. This isn't like, I mean, it was a special, too. It was paying money. And so they pulled in some more cars, and I just put on the new tires and made sure to concentrate and do what I could. So,
who all traveled with you this past weekend? Who's going to be in the hauler or showing up to help on the car this week, and the shopper at the racetrack?
I went by myself this weekend. My wife and kid were at my in-laws.
Okay,
that's where I stay when I race up there.
Okay,
that helps out a lot.
Yeah,
but I just went up there by myself, and then I went over to Beaver Dam by myself and did it again. So,
because you get to repeat at places. You're not just going to one and then, okay, check it off the list. You're going back to tracks you want to race at that are within reason of driving. You get a pretty good reputation of a guy that can run clean and run well. I mean, you're finishing.
Yeah, I
top 5, top 10.
I got a lot of respect with a lot of drivers.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to.
Out in the eastern Iowa area, like Jeff Larson, he's top IMC modified driver in the country, and I give him a call and talk to him, or just we frequent each other. And
yeah,
so
that's really comforting.
But
good resource, especially if you're out there kind of doing a lot of this, going down the road or thinking about stuff and fixing it on your own. Who's on your sponsorship side of things, Joel?
Well, first and foremost, I got to thank Walter. They've been pretty much with me since I've been working here. So, and then I got to thank Schley Snow Plowing and Lawn Service. He come on this year. That was great help. And then Don's Machine Shop, which is also a customer of Walter. He purchased a truck from us, and kind of met him through Walter, and then just kind of built a relationship with him.
Neat.
And then S&S Tool, Suggett Lodging, Midtown Tools, Nick Smalley, Cornwell Tools, Baling Racing Equipment, NNS Towing, JLM Performance, Prime FX Graphics, Bassett Racing Wheels, and Harris Race Cars.
You mentioned your wife and your boy over there.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool to hear.
Getting pretty antsy right now.
Oh, really? Couldn't tell. She's got him on the lap. He's next to her. She's on it. Okay, I got it. Yeah. Before we turn you loose, that race car looks pretty cool. How long have you driven that same race car, Joel? Seems like you can adapt with it pretty well because it's been, I'm sure, in your stable for a while now.
No, this one I built this winter. This
no way.
Was fresh out of the gate.
Looks like the last one. That's what I'm going with. I walked by and went, I wonder how long he's been driving that one.
I keep the same sticker scheme every year. I don't ever change.
A new car.
Yeah.
All right.
I built this one over the winter. First race out, I almost won it at Wilmot, but I kind of messed up on my own coming to the checkered with a lap car and got second.
Okay.
So this car's been pretty good. I've been really liking it.
And how is it a chassis or that you can rely upon, or tracks you run because of the different tracks you run and the people you get to know when you travel, or is it something you said, hey, I want one of those chassis, or I want to run those shocks because you're traveling?
Well, I run the Harris chassis. There's not many of them around this area.
Okay.
But they have a good, you can call them if you got any questions, and they got a pretty good setup sheet, and I just kind of base myself off of that.
Yep.
And then shocks, I've been building my own shocks now for a couple of years, and I'm kind of getting the hang of that.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of proud to say I can build my own shocks, and
as you should,
and be able to do good with it. So.
Yeah. Soon people will be saying, can you build my shocks? What's your answer now?
There's a few select guys I have helped out, but I don't really want to go too into that. I just don't have the time.
Yep.
So,
yep. A lot going on.
Yeah.
I'm really glad to know that you're employed and happily employed at Walter. It sounds like it's a great place to work, and it gives you a great opportunity.
It's been good over the years, and it always works out. So.
It is Walter night. I want to tell you, Walter is hiring. Walter's on a mission to move, store, and power the world more efficiently. Walter is a rapidly growing forklift distributor, currently seeking skilled technicians to repair forklifts, industrial batteries, generators, and beyond. The company's been around for over 60 years. You can apply today to work with these racers we've been talking to all show at walterinc.com/careers. They're looking for mechanically inclined individuals to join the racers that work there, become part of the team that's connected like family and committed to making an impact. Again, walterinc.com/careers. How about a big hand for Joel Crowbridge, one of the Walter guys, hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for bringing the race car and your family. And
no problem. So I'll probably see you around.
Yeah, we will. Appreciate it. We'll see you at Wilmot Raceway, if not sooner. Wilmot Raceway, Walter Night is June 29th.
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right.
I'll be carrying the national anthem flag, and my little guy's looking forward to riding with me for that. So.
That's so cool. Really cool. Hey, we'll be right back with Bill Howland, everybody, on the Racing Roundup Show. Stay tuned.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show. Walter Inc. is hiring. Walter is on a mission to move, store, and power the world more efficiently. Walter is a rapidly growing forklift distributor and is currently seeking skilled technicians to repair forklifts, industrial batteries, generators, and beyond. Apply today at walterinc.com/careers. Walter is looking for mechanically inclined individuals to join the racers that work there. Become a part of a team that is connected like family and committed to making an impact. Discover open technician positions and more at wolterinc.com/careers.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Millwright Raceway in Dousman, Wisconsin, home of the Badger Kart Club. Walk the pit area, talk to racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand. Spectator admission is free. Badger Kart Club points racers and National Touring Series race on the challenging paved road course most Sundays from April through September. Badger Kart Club is well established and well respected. There's 15 classes and over 100 drivers racing every week. From ages 5 to 75, kart racing offers competition for generations of racers of all ages. Bring the kids and check out kart racing for yourself at one of America's finest kart tracks. This is where Alan Kowicki, Danica Patrick, Sam Mayer, and Josh Palicki got their start. Millwright Raceway is just south of I-94 in Dousman, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. For all the latest information, directions, and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And attention contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. And who doesn't like more cash? Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Allis and Waukesha. If you have questions, give them a call. 414-321-4134. ARR Recycling since 1938.
Eliminate the hassles of planning a trip to the races. Hook up with Boring Bob's escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob offers transportation, lodging, race tickets, nightlife, shuttle service, and more. Boring Bob knows all the back roads into and out of the racetrack to get you in and out fast. Pick one or pick them all. Go in style to Daytona, Bristol, Phoenix, Las Vegas, and more. He has decades of experience and industry contacts galore. You name the race, let Boring Bob do the rest. Call Boring Bob today to make plans now to go on one of Boring Bob's famous escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob's always at 414-321-1307. That's 414-321-1307.
Check out our website, RacingRoundupShow.com, to watch show archives, see photos from decades of our programs, and links to support our awesome show advertisers. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Welcome back to our program. It's June 18th, and I want to tell you, next week, Tuesday night, we'll be back here at Pauly's Public Eatery with another great show. A lot of great guests to be lined up and had a great time with. I don't know who our guests are in 2 weeks' time, but Tuesday night, July 2nd, we'll be live at 5 p.m. at the front gate at Wilmot Raceway for their complete points show for their weekly divisions. We're going to be talking to a bunch of racers there Wednesday for a Tuesday night show. They're moving out the 4th of July. But guess what? There'll be fireworks, and it's carload night. So find out more at wilmotraceway.com. That's in 2 weeks' time. We're taking our show on the road at a D'Angelo's Construction Roadshow to Wilmot Raceway on Tuesday night, July 2nd. This portion of the show is brought to you by Schlafer Auto Body and Sales in Lannon. Check out their great work on their social pages, Facebook specifically, to find out their award-winning classic car restoration projects. They also work on daily drivers and work with all insurance companies. Search Schlafer Auto Body on Facebook. They're in Lannon. This past Friday night at Madison International Speedway was the first of 2 Wisconsin ASA Stars National Tour races. I was working that race. I got there a little early, and I was in the pits, and wouldn't you know it, within 2 minutes of me seeing him walk through the pit gate, he had his camera up and microphone out, ready to interview and capture great content for us for the show, which we will show you upcoming on the Racing Roundup program to come. Let's welcome in the host of the In the Groove segment on our show, Bill Holland. Bill, welcome back.
Hey, thanks, Jim. Great to be here again.
You were a busy man on Friday night, and that's the first of the races I saw you working. I saw you again on Sunday at the mile. It was a busy weekend.
We crossed paths a lot, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Friday night, Madison Weekly Racing late models, and the ASA Stars National Tour running a 200-lap race. What were some of the thoughts of content you wanted to get and captured and will show us on an upcoming program?
First driver I wanted to talk to is Ty Majeski. He won the Stars National Tour Championship last year. He was coming into the weekend undefeated in Wisconsin in super late model racing this year. And Ty is one of those guys who is a believer in defending the home turf. He doesn't want the Southern guys coming up here and whooping up on him and the other guys. And Casey Johnson brought out a brand new race car. Never seen Casey in a white number 5 car before.
Yep.
He was pretty fast. And I asked Casey if it changes things when the Southern guys come up, and he had a really interesting answer. He said, I race with Ty all the time. that's the standard. That's the guy we're trying to beat. And I thought that was interesting because over the years, Ty and Casey have had some great battles, and Casey has won his share.
Yes, he has, yeah. Especially when Ty was racing part-time, Casey had it going on, and he won 3 ASA Midwest Tour Championships. 2.5 of those years, I want to say, he was racing with Ty more often than not. It was really cool to see how they race and respect each other as well.
Absolutely. And, Casey missed a lot of last year because of medical issues. I talked to him in Madison. He says he's feeling better all the time, so that was really good to hear. Derek Kraus was there. And, that's a family-owned race car, that number 9 Super Late Model, carrying the number his dad ran for so many years. And Derek just loves Super Late Model racing, so it's always neat to see him come back to Wisconsin. Some really interesting things that you touched on a little bit earlier. Ty Fredrickson, 15-year-old driver, part of the Kawicki Driver Development Program. He got the call from Donnie Wilson Racing to carry the 24 at Madison, racing for owner points. He's the youngest driver in the field. Jeff Storm, the oldest driver in the field, also got a call from the Wilson team, and Stormy was really pumped about that. He said it was a real honor to get that call.
Yeah. And Ty got to race at Madison. He set fast time, first time he was ever there, back on the Joe Shear Classic for the Midwest Tour race on the first weekend in May. But Friday night was a different story. Some similarities, but a way different story, I think, for a lot of people.
It really was, and I think you can put a lot of it on one simple thing. The Stars Tour, those cars run 4-barrel carburetors. Midwest Tour, it's 2 barrels.
Yep.
And afterward, Ty ran strong for a good portion of the race, Ty Fredrickson, but he faded late. I believe he finished a couple laps down, and when I talked to him afterward, he said, I burned up the right rear.
Yeah.
Stormy had mechanical issues. Casey Johnson lost a motor.
Oh, wow.
But he was, having a run. The Stars, they bring the names.
Oh, yeah.
Cole Butcher comes in with the point lead.
Yep.
Casey Roderick, that guy's just good. And probably the biggest name in the series, Bubba Pollard. And I find Bubba to be a really interesting guy to talk to. And one thing he said he liked about coming up here to Wisconsin is it's still grassroots racing. Guys up here still work on their own equipment. He said he had a lot of respect for that. And when I hear things like that, I've got a lot of respect for Bubba Pollard.
He unfortunately did not have the best of nights. Bubba actually pulled off the racetrack on lap 52 and was never seen again in Wisconsin. He was supposed to race on Sunday. He said, my car's not right. I can't figure this thing out. We're not going to do any better at Milwaukee. We're not coming back. So he had some issues to work through after winning the big Money in the Bank with a different race car over in Michigan earlier in the week. But it was interesting to see how much he struggled. Bubba struggled in the past year in Wisconsin. His first Slinger Nationals wasn't the best. He changed gears actually at the break of the Slinger Nationals and finished. The next year, came back and won. Joe Shear Classic at Madison in the Midwest Tour configuration. First year, 17th, I think he was. Second time out, won the race. I think he had high hopes on what he built from last year as well. A top 6 finish, I think he was, 6th last year in the Joe Shear race that was a Stars and Midwest Tour combo. But it was just kind of odd to say, and I'm not the first time I've seen him do it. He pulled off the racetrack and called it a night.
Yeah, it just wasn't happening for him on Friday night. The guys who really did look stout, and they don't invert these races.
Nope.
For those of you not familiar with the Stars National Tour, Fast Qualifier starts on the pole. So you start a 200-lap super late model race with Ty Majeski on the pole. Well, Cole Butcher, the driver out of Nova Scotia, he took the early lead.
Yep, led the first 64 laps. Ty never led.
And
early.
And everybody said beforehand, it's going to be the last 50 laps. This place is really hard on brakes. It's hard on tires. That the strategy was going to be survive for the first 150, race hard for the last 50 laps, which makes sense. So I don't think Ty was pushing Butcher hard. 64 laps in, and all of a sudden, Butcher's 28 car is into the turn-through wall and in hard. There's fire underneath the car momentarily.
Yep.
My understanding is he hit fluid on the racetrack.
Yeah, Michael Bilderback, I believe, lost the motor. And Ty Majeski, running second behind Butcher, caught it out of the corner of his eye. He saw a poof, smoke, and then he looked at the track when he came off of turn 2, and he said, I saw something hazy on the track, but I don't think Cole Butcher saw it. Cole was actually racing inside of a lap car in turn 2 and trying to clear him with Majeski now 3 car lengths back. He had been maybe 10 or 12. He was closing. Majeski was closing. And I want to say the 2 factors that Butcher didn't take into account when he didn't see the fluid and went straight into the wall, locked him down, couldn't do anything to save his car from crashing, was the pressure Majeski started to put on and just the sheer, I got to get through the corner 1, I got a lap car on the outside of me where Ty might have had a chance to look over following the leader and the lap car. In that brief, quick second, Ty was able to woe his car down to the inside because he saw the fluid or didn't know what it was. Butcher didn't. Boom, into the wall.
And in fairness to Cole Butcher, you're not expecting fluid on the racetrack.
Right, for sure. Yeah, it was like a half-track difference between where they were and what happened to Bilderback, unfortunately.
And under that caution was when Casey Johnson's car failed.
Yep.
But, after that, it was all Ty Majeski.
Yes.
But a really good race for second.
Man, were they going at it or what?
And you say, well, who cares about second? Well, I'll guarantee you Casey Roderick cares about second because he's running second, and he's looking to take over the Stars Tour point lead.
Yep.
Austin Nason, who has not had the best of luck on the Stars Tour this year, 2-time Rockford Speedway National Short Track Champion, he's running the series full time, and Nason had a really strong run. He is on Roderick's bumper. And right behind Nason, Caden Quapple, Travis Quapple's son. Young driver, but boy, he looked good on Friday night.
He did.
And he wasn't in the mix in this, but another driver who had a real nice run, Levon Vandergeest, the driver out of Merrill. Levon ran 5th. I believe that was his first Stars Tour race.
Yeah, it was really good. Other than the combination ones last year, it was his first. I want to go chase those guys, not for my own points. Yeah, it was good to see. So Ty Majeski won Friday night. Sunday, we had the Milwaukee Mile race. I know that Bill has a package for Sunday's Milwaukee Mile event as well. I'll go through some of the highlights. And it was all Ty Majeski again. Fastest of practice Saturday. I talked to you about what happened on Saturday night earlier in the show, where there was some crashing by the Wilson Motorsports teammates. They were down to 1 car, and they brought out a backup car for Stormy to run on Sunday. But when it came down to qualifying, we're like, okay, Ty Majeski's 2/10 faster on Saturday. Qualifying, Majeski's going to be on the pole. This might not be a great race. Well, guess what? Qualifying got rained out. There's a rain shower that came through on Sunday morning. Line up on points. Ty Majeski started 8th. I'm like, oh, boy. All right, now we got a race. Cole Butcher, Casey Roderick on the front row, took off. But I think the attention for every good reason was on Ty Majeski and how quickly he got through the field. And Roderick led. And by lap 14, Ty was in his mirror. And by lap 15, Ty Majeski was drag racing around the front stretch for the lead. We thought, okay, that was it. We're good. Ty's got it figured out. They had 2 stage breaks, lap 35. Came in and made adjustments. But lap 70, we could tell that Majeski's car wasn't that strong. He had about a 4-second lead at some point. He only had like a 1.5 lead on this 18-year-old kid named Dawson Sutton. They all came into pit for 4 tires, went back out and raced after it. Majeski never shook the kid. It got to be pretty exciting at the front and for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. They were nose to tail for I don't know how many laps.
It was pretty remarkable. And from my vantage point, I couldn't tell if the 91 was going away or if Dawson Sutton's team, the white 26 car, if they hit on something in that last pit stop, because you just don't see a driver take one away from Ty Majeski at the end of a race very often.
Yep, and after the race on Sunday, so we'll spoil it, we'll move ahead. We're talking about Majeski moving higher on the racetrack, trying to do everything he could. I had a flashback to Casey Johnson holding off William Sawalich with a car that was jumping out of gear. Johnson did everything he could. He stayed ahead of him, beat Sawalich by 1.5 feet on the Father's Day 100 a couple years ago. Now I'm seeing this 18-year-old kid out of Tennessee chasing down Majeski, the master, or Goliath if you want to call him that, at Milwaukee. And he was running his line, and Majeski kept moving up. And Majeski said, I got over the cushion 1 time. He could not keep his car down on the bottom, nor could he keep it in the line he wanted. He had to keep moving up to find traction, probably to find some grip. And Sutton found the opening. 5 to go into turn 1. Majeski goes in higher than he ever had. To the center of the corner he went. Sutton went underneath him. Drag raced on the backstretch. And Sutton, much to my dismay, much to my amazement, pulled away and won the race. Sutton beat Majeski.
I was wondering, once he got past the 91, if Majeski was going to be able to come back. If that was a one-corner thing and the 91 was still the better race car. But, we saw how it played out. And it backed up a saying that I heard from Dan Fredrickson probably 15 years ago. Everybody loves a race like this except the guy who finishes second. And the night Dan Fredrickson said that was the night he finished second.
And Ty Majeski on Sunday was actually very complimentary, saying those guys had it figured out. I don't know something went wrong with Ty's car, but he said they just had a better race car at the end of that race. Given the chance, they all had 4 fresh, and Ty got beat that day on Sunday. Pretty cool.
And that takes something because you know he had to be disappointed. He'd been so good all weekend.
Big time. Bill, thanks for your input. We're going to have your highlights on our show. We might have a special showing of Bill's highlights from Madison. I know Milwaukee highlights are coming in a separate package. We appreciate every effort you're making. Where do you think you're heading this weekend if all things hold well, Bill?
Well, there's a couple of stories I want to pursue. And, we've got a lot of racing this month.
And you know what? I forgot to say this. Bill and I talked over the course of this weekend. We might have a long-form, really cool show about those big races in Wisconsin this past weekend. A little longer in duration kind of thing.
I would love to do something like that. I'd be curious to know what our audience thinks about that. Maybe they could offer some input on social media and see if they'd like to see more long-form highlight packages, that sort of thing.
So we're in the show we do. It's right around 8 minutes that Bill does these reports, and there's a lot of things he has to cut out. So it's kind of cool with these big races, big tracks, longer races. Bill said, "Hey, what if we did some longer form stuff?" I'm all for it. If you want to chime in, our Facebook page, our social is at Racing Roundup on Twitter, on X, which was Twitter, and on Instagram, and pop us on Facebook or maybe on this show as you're watching. Say, hey, I'd like to see more of that. Or, hey, Bill, why don't you cover the, this race or that race? It's kind of fun to open that up, and I think that's a great way to do it. Just let our viewers find out. What do you guys want to see? We got some big races then, big races to come. So, small mattering applause. We got instant feedback.
I like
live
that.
audience,
I like
Bill.
that.
Live audience feedback right here. Let's keep those hands together one more time. How about a big hand for Bill Holland for joining us here tonight? Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate
it. And we're going to get highlights, I promise, for Bill's In the Groove segment. And we're going to have a lot of fun still. Bill's been a great contributor this year to our 40th season of the Racing Roundup program. I want to thank you, Bill, for being part of the show. How about a big hand for Walter and Walter Night? Thank you, Kim. Thank you to Donnie. Thank you, David. Thank you, Joel, for coming on the program and spending some time with us. We had such a blast. And Doc Riley, thank you. NTPA. Their tractor truck pulling this weekend in Toma. We got tickets to give away that tonight as well. Donnie Paskewitz, Doc Riley, Kim Walk, Scott Shambo. Thank you, Scott, for letting all these racers be part of what we have in fun as well. Joel Krobert, Johnny Paskewitz, David McKellips were our guests here this evening. Next Tuesday, we're back here with David Gravel on a video call and a bunch of cool short track racers. I want to thank you for your time. Thank you, Walter, for your involvement. If you want to work there, walterinc.com/careers. Find out more about how you can be a cool person like all these Walter folks we talked to tonight. And until next Tuesday, set your DVRs, support your local racing, and have at it, racers.
We hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Remember to tell your friends and watch our 30-minute TV show on Milwaukee's CW18 this Saturday morning at 11:30. Like our show on Facebook, follow and interact with us on X and Instagram at Racing Roundup. Join the racing crowd at our live show and win prizes. For our latest show schedule and to watch all of our shows on demand, visit our website, RacingRoundupShow.com. We are delivering fresh content every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central. Until next time, race fans, on behalf of our entire crew, this is Dean Strom reminding you to support your local racetracks, set your DVRs, have at it, racers.